Welcome back to the Bottomless Bag, your one-stop shop for homebrew items, curios, and knickknacks for D&D and Pathfinder. Today we're going to talk about the Jack-o'-lantern, or the Lantern of Protection. For all intents and purposes, this is a homebrewed item best suited for Halloween one-shots. That being said, this item could be useful for anyone throughout the year, even though it is, it's got some spooky time vibes. As much as this works really well for a pumpkin, you could instead create the item as simply like a skull attached to a chain, or possibly just a lantern inscribed with a specific deity's iconography. The lantern works as followed. Any player can spend 10 minutes inscribing the name and description of a beast, creature, or creature type onto a candle. Once the candle is prepared, any player, as a standard action, can light that candle, placing it within the lantern, causing creatures of those types to have disadvantage on attack rolls against the wielder. Any player wielding the lantern has advantage on all attack rolls and saving throws against creatures of that type for as long as they hold the lantern and the candle is lit. Just like any other homebrew that you can find at the Bottomless Bag, there's usually a lot of wiggle room here on how you want to implement this. But the way I see it, it should be used more like a shield than anything else. Holding the pumpkin in your offhand brings a small semblance of balance to the item that could easily be hot potatoed around the party and slapped on the belt of a greatsword wielding barbarian and just never touched again. That being said, if you want to wear it on your head and cast perpetual flame on your hair, I'd probably allow that. You can get a lot of life out of this item just by making the candle either only burn for a few rounds or allowing them to invest in like an ever-burning torch with goblin limericks scribbled all over the side. This is a great means of deciding the cost of the item. The item itself could just be a regular pumpkin that's picked up and not really worth anything, or a very ornate gold lantern, but depending on how much the candles cost can really make or break how a party decides whether or not to use this item. I don't think it should be attunable because it is something that you have to hold physically and present. Spending 50 gold on what's basically breaks down to a single target protection spell isn't too bad, but deciding how specific you want to be for the candle's description could also bring different power levels to the item as well. Having a candle that says goblinoids costing more than a candle that says, say, goblins or a specific goblin's name. This also allows someone to spend their downtime creating multiple candles and then using a standard action in combat to equip the correct candle for the lantern. Kind of creates its own unique subclass of someone walking around that has protections from specific creatures, that they have a library of candles. Or maybe making a candle maker a little more powerful. Overall, I love making items that have a bit of variety and functionality to them. And if you feel like this might be a little overpowered, have a goblin or two spit their pumpkin spice latte all over the cleric to extinguish the candle. Stay safe out there, everybody, and remember to keep your dice on the table. I almost said goblin spice latte. I don't know what that would taste like. Probably dirt and burnt hair. Or like an overabundance of teeth. Ugh. Can something taste like teeth? Happy Halloween, everybody.